Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Jenofeve Designs. Today we're going to make the covers for our first mini album mashup that we are making. We are making a, what are we making? We are making the covers. Our new album project is the Love Story, Love Story by Simple Stories. It is a digital printable collection. So at one time it was an actual physical collection, but now it is a digital collection, so you can print off whatever you want. It is linked in the description box, and I will put the playlist for this album. I'll put it up here in the cards and down below in the description box. The last video we did, we printed off all our papers and did the fussy cutting and the organization of the project stuff. You know how I like to get everything together and in my crafty companion so that it's easy access and it is neat, right? So it makes creating an album a lot easier when everything is nice and neat and organized. So anywho's, so today we're going to make the covers and the binding. So we're going to start with the covers, and so I'm going to need, I don't need the mats, but since they're attached to the covers, I'm just going to grab it anyway. And I'm going to grab the spine. And then there's also a collections list in the description box for all the printables that I'm using in this album. And it's just one click to my Etsy shop, and all the things that I'm using are in there. And there's an Amazon list as well. So all of the things, you know, the best I can are linked in that Amazon list for this project. So we need those two traceable templates, and then I've got 2 pieces of medium weight chipboard. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test it to see which way it bends. So I want my covers to be this way. Let me scoop that over here. So I'm going to take this, and I am going to trace one of the covers. Oops. So you'll need 2 of those, but for now I'm just going to trace that, and then I'm going to lay the spine piece right next to it and trace that. And then I'm going to trace one more. Make sure I've got the grain of the chipboard here going the right direction. Okay. I'm going to put those aside. I'll get those put up in a little bit. Alright, now I need my craft mat and a craft knife and a ruler. This particular ruler has grippies. Oh, you know what? One of you gave me these non-slip adhesive rings. I've never tried them. Interesting. So I guess you're just supposed to, because the reason I like this ruler is it has these grippy things, right? So it doesn't slip around, but it doesn't have a metal edge. But the Tim Holtz ones do have a metal edge. So I'm wondering, what are these going to look like? Interesting. Should I try them? Okay, I don't know why they're rings, because you can punch the hole out if you want to. I don't think there's any instructions. So let's see. I'm just going to try to put it in the middle. And or on each end, maybe in a few in the middle. I meant in the middle of the ruler. Oh, that one's got a hole. So, not that I use that hole, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all, really. Okay. Right. And then let's do one in the center. Okay, let's do one in the center. This might be too much, but yeah, somebody gave me these, and I've been cleaning out my studio, going through stuff, and I found them. I was like, oh, I never did try those. So I have no idea. I don't know if they're still available or not, but let's give it a go. Let's give it a go and see what happens. Okay. It feels like it's going to be nice and grippy, so let's see. We will start with this one, and I'm going to cut this big chunk off first. So I'm going to line up the metal edge of my ruler to the pencil line. Well, it's gripping so far. So you just, when you're cutting chipboard with a craft knife and a ruler, it's just slow and steady. Slow and steady. Okay, you don't have to go fast. You don't have to press hard. It's harder to cut chipboard when you press too hard. So yeah, those worked pretty good. Huh. Well, we'll have to put them to the test, huh? So that's exciting. So if you were the one who gave me those, let me know, because leave me a comment, let me know so I can say thank you. And I'm sorry that it took me this long to try them. I guess I don't know where they got. I don't know if they got put up somewhere, and I don't know. I just don't know. I am sorry. But I found them, and we're gonna put them to the test now. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape on the back of these, and I'll show you what I'm using. I am using the scrapbook.com double-sided adhesive sheets. You can get them 5 or 10 packs. I really appreciate these larger sheets, and if you have the roll, the 6-inch roll, you could use that as well. Or you can use glue. You can just simply glue. But since I like to make my covers with coffee stained, this is 11 by 17 paper. I like to make my covers with this, and since it's coffee stained, it's more wrinkly, and I want to make sure I get a complete coverage of the adhesive. So that's why I like to use these sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a sheet out, and I'm going to take the backing off. I keep my backings because you can use these. You can fold them in half and make a sticker book where you can put stickers on here, or ephemera that you've got adhesive on the back of, or whatever it is. You can put it on the back of here, and it's quick, easy access. I've used it in my ephemera holders before, but I also use them for any leftover pieces of tape that I may have. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stick one right here, just like this, that I may have after I do this. So I'm going to grab I'm going to grab one of the covers and I am going to stick it on here as best I can. Right to the edge. And then I'm going to put the spine right next to it. Then I'm going to cut this edge off. See, this is what I mean by having a place to stick all that extra tape, because I use it. I use all those, well, I try to anyway, use the scraps. You never know when you might need, oh, you won't need that one because it's coming off my finger. You might need a little scrap of something. Okay. And then I'm going to separate these two. Alright, so they both have tape on the back, and then I will take a bone folder and burnish it down. Alright, so those two are covered, and then I've got one more. Oops. The tape is staying on the wrong page. Well, that's different. Did it do it again? It sure did. It's not supposed to do that. Alright, so let me try it from over here, or the other side. How about that? I'll do it over here. Oh. Come on, stay on the sheet. There we go. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to stick this on here. I'm going to do this long bit first. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble these three things together using this bookbinding tape. You could use fabric or Tyvek, whatever it is that you have. You could totally use that. And actually, now that I think about it, I probably should have waited to put the tape on. But you know what? It's okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. So I'm going to make sure that I can overlap a little bit. So I'm just going to, I think I'm just going to cut some 12-inch pieces. I need two 12-inch pieces. I mean, as best you can. And then I will need to measure the inside here in just a second. And we'll have two pieces for the inside. So, what we're going to do now is, I think, we are going to start with peeling back a little bit of this cover, backing on this cover here on the tape, just a little bit like this, and then we're going to peel the backing off of this tape. then I'm going to try to actually line that up a little better to an actual line on my craft mat here. I just felt like all of a sudden I didn't have my thing turned on. Okay, let's see here. I am going to go about a ½ inch in on the tape. Does not have to be perfect, doesn't have to be straight. And then I'm going to put that tape backing back down. And then I'm going to grab some 1/4 inch tape. And this is just for spacing. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch strip right down here along here. Whoops, got off a little bit. And then the spine piece, so I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to have to, well, I guess technically I could do it this way. That would be okay. I'm going to do this one this way because it's not that big of a piece. So I'm going to line up the spine to the edge of that tape that I just put down. And I'm going to make sure that it's the same height. All right, let's get another piece of tape. Okay, so I'm going to lay this. I'm going to try to line it up because, well, as best I can, really. It's fine. It doesn't, there's a bit of a gap there, but it's okay. Okay. And then I am going to run another 1/4 inch tape just for the spacing. And then I'm going to pull this back just a little bit and attach this down right next to that line, right next to that piece of tape. Make sure it's the same. Okay, so that wasn't terrible, was it? Okay, so now I'm going to peel back the top and bottom, and I'm going to wrap, I'm even going to peel back the 1/4 inch a little bit. I'm just going to wrap those around the edge there so that those are not vulnerable to tear. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Wonderful. Alright, now I need to add adhesive back to here. So I'm going to fold these back again. And I wonder, do I have enough adhesive over here to cover this? So I need to cover all of it. Not really. Let's see. What if I did a 2 inch and then that strip? So I'm just going to recover here. And then the strip that we cut off. It's going to be too long, but we can put this right here. Alright, we have salvaged the situation. Okay. Flip that over, burnish that tape down. Alright. So now I'm going to grab my piece of coffee stained paper. It doesn't really matter, really. Now make sure it fits. Ooh, just barely. Ooh, dang it. I completely forgot that. I completely forgot. I was thinking it was wide enough to do the whole thing. So we'll just, you know, we'll just troubleshoot together. I'm just getting really hot. We've got a fire going down in the loft, so it's or I'm sorry, I'm in the loft and the fire is down in the living room, but it's hot. So, all right, that being the case, I need to grab another sheet that's more similar to that color. Hold on. Okay. So, well, let's use this one. It's all right, we will work this out. I just can't believe I forgot I forgot. I mean, I just made the covers for the prototype not too long ago. Okay. That one might be too tough. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it this way, and then I will wrap it like this, probably. Because I'm going to have to put, I guess I could go over just a little bit. I'm going to have to put something around. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking. So I'm going to remove this piece. And I'm going to remove this piece, and we will cover up to that edge. How about that? And then we will do the exact opposite, although I don't know where. I don't know where it stops. I'm guessing here. Oh, not too bad. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take some. This is this 3/4 inch? This is 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to run this around the edge of the chipboard on the 3 sides, and then we'll trim off the extra paper. So yeah, so I made it more complicated than it needs to be, basically is what I did to myself, but that's okay. It's okay. There's all kinds of ways to wrap a cover, and if you have your favorite way, then you can do it that way. Okay, and while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and cut these corners off. This is the right angle tool, and I'll have it linked below. I'm pretty sure she still sells these. Oh, I still have to trim that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap this page, this piece, before I do the other one. But first, I'm going to burnish this down. Okay, so I have to do the same thing with the, not that one, but that one. Alright, I'm going to do the top and the bottom first. So that tool helps us make a nice finished corner there. Is it something you absolutely have to have? No, but it definitely is nicer to have. Okay, so now I'm going to take this off. This off. And make sure that's right. So we're going to be wrapping around these edges anyway, but I just want to make sure that I don't get too much bulk. So unnecessary bulk, I guess, is a better way to put it. Alright, same thing. Do the tape. That goes across here. So let me go from this side. I need to measure. I will need a strip that it's at least 3.5 wide. Probably 4 would be better. 4 by 12. Okay. So I'm going to take this. Open up my paper trimmer. Oops. Move my craft mat out of the way. And I'm going to cut, actually I'm going to get me a straight flat edge first. So it's not so wavy. I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to cut it to 12. And then I'm going to do 4 inches. And then I'm going to cut another 4-inch piece. And this one will be for the inside. Except, don't need it that long. Where did I just stick my ruler? Did I put it up already? I did. Jeez. Okay, so I don't need it 12 inches, I just need it 10 inches. So I'm going to cut it down to 4 by 10. Oh, it's not really straight that way, is it? I was just straightening it up, that's all. Okay, my my craft mat back out. I'm going to do some strips, 2-inch strips. I don't think I have a 4-inch. I guess I could do the 6-inch. Hold on. I'm completely out of 4-inch, so I'm just going to use my 6-inch. I know this is a lot, you guys. I know it's a lot of different sizes. Use what you have. You do not have to do what I'm doing. If you're going to use coffee stained paper, though, I wouldn't use glue. I would use double-sided adhesive, and I would cover the whole back if you can. Oops. But I've had this roll forever, and even as much as I make and do, whoop, that wasn't very straight. It's a really good investment. Plus, they usually almost always have it at half off. So, stick that there. Oops. And then let me do this one. It's not going to fit because my paper's not 12 inches tall over here. So yeah, these will definitely get used at some point. Another sheet. Alright, I'm going to take the backing off of this piece, and I'm hoping I can just lay my cover. We'll see. We'll see how good I can get it. Right, I'm hoping I can just lay this in the center here. The best I can. Doesn't have to be perfect though. So these up, and then I'm gonna rotate that around. Same over here. So then I'm going to remove this tape backing. And this tape backing. And we're going to match it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, you know what I didn't do? It's okay. I mean, this is what not to do, I think. That's what's going on here. I didn't add strips in here, but that's okay. I think we'll be fine. Just note to self, if you want that extra double duty, triple duty, take that precaution. Then just before you do this part, just add you some tape along each seam. That's all. I just completely forgot. So I'm going to work my cover just a little bit. So And to be totally honest with you guys, when I did my prototype, when I did this one, I didn't use any of that tape. I didn't use anything to reinforce the space there, the spine, the gusset, the hinge, the, what do we call that? I didn't do any reinforcing right there. It's just paper, so, and tape. Paper and tape. So I know that it's okay. It'll be okay. I didn't double do it. So I did it once, it'll be fine. So, but if you want to, that you should have done it before I did that. All right, next up, oh, I just wanted to say briefly, 9 times out of 10, well, all times out of 10, we cover the inside of the covers with pattern paper or something. We mat the inside with it. So I don't think I'm going to go ahead and add anything here just yet. Yeah, I'm not going to add anything to these covers. So let's go move on to the binding for a minute. All right. Do I need this right now? I don't need this right now. I do need this back. All right, out of the templates, page 2 is the accordion fin binding. Sorry about the glare. Let me put that there. That's what page 2 looks like. So I printed it onto white cardstock. But then it occurred to me that I wanted to use coffee stain paper to match my covers. Normally I wouldn't care. I would just go with the flow and everything be fine. But I printed it onto coffee stained cardstock. So this is cardstock. This is not paper. This is just your regular old, 80-pound cardstock that I use. And I think I'm going to use that because I think it'll be nicer with, it won't be so stark. Even though on the finished product you can't really see it that well, and sometimes my printer will not print on coffee stained paper. I don't know why. I just don't know. I don't know. But anyway, we're not going to worry about it. So I have printed this. And if you didn't want to print on a coffee stained paper, I did take a minute. This was when I was creating the templates. I mocked this up. But I did take coffee and spray it onto the white cardstock, and it'll work just the same. So if yours won't print onto your if your printer won't print onto coffee stain paper, you literally use coffee and spray it or paint it on there, and you can go and add layers. It actually works better if you use a paintbrush and just dip it in your coffee and just you don't really need to do these fins, but just get in the gussets, and then these 2 fins, and you can achieve the same look. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. But since mine actually did print onto the coffee stain paper, even though my printer wasn't happy, you see that right there? It's okay. It's all right. You'll be fine, printer. You'll be fine. Okay. I'm going to get my paper trimmer out. I'm going to trim out all the way around the outside edges. Then I'm going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to score all these marks. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can use a pencil, or probably not a pencil. You could use something. You could use your bone folder and a ruler and just score it that way. And if you didn't have a scoreboard, so you don't have to have a scoreboard, but if you have one, it's much easier. So I'm just going to line this up here, and I'm going to score all of these marks. Alright, and then I like to go through and I like to prep them all one way. So even though that's not gonna be the finished product, I like to start by going all the same way. Well, I guess technically that's not the same way. So well, it would be. In the end, it's still the same way. So Okay, so I've prepped it all one way and I've kind of made a nice little tube. Now I'm going to go and do it all the opposite way. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to skip this piece and skip the first section, and then you want to take the next two sections and you want to pinch them together like this. And I'm going to burnish that really good. I'm going to go both ways. So you've got one peak, right? Then skip the next section, and then the next two you want to pull together like this. And again with the burnish, both directions. So now we got two fins. Then skip the next section and then pull these two, the next two together. And burnish. Okay, so now I'm going to take my tape, whatever tape you have. I like to use 3/8 inch tape. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on each one. I'm going to flip it over, and on each one of those peaks that I made, I'm going to put tape on one side of it. And you don't need it on both. It's not necessary. Okay, so to make this simple, we are going to take and attach these together before we put any more tape on. So I'm going to move the tape backing on one. What is that? Oh, it's from the tape. And I am going to fold it over on itself and burnish. Fold it back and burnish. I'm going to do it again for the next one. Fold it over, burnish. Fold it back, burnish. Next one. Fold it over, burnish. Fold it back, burnish. So now we have 1, 2, 3 fins. Just like that. You know what, before I go any further, I'm gonna just ink those cut edges so they don't stand out so far, just on the, or so much, just on these end pieces. You don't have to worry about the other two. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna put a piece of tape on every section here. I'll probably do 2 on these big pieces here. If you don't want those there, you can cut them off if you don't want to add them to your covers. That is perfectly fine. I probably should have used my 3/8 inch, but I actually have more of, or I'm sorry, my 3/4 inch. I actually have more of this size than I do anything, so. And because it didn't fit perfectly, I need 1/4 inch. I'm trying not to go over my scores. I'm trying to leave those free of adhesives. And then these sections here, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, I'm just going to put right in the middle, 3/8 inch, right in the middle of each section. All right, now let's get it put into our album covers. So this, minus these two, these 4 sections should fit pretty good onto your spine piece. They should fit almost perfectly. And if they're off a little bit, it's totally fine. Don't panic. But that's just a good gauge for you if you're not sure if you're putting it on there correctly. You are. Okay, so I am going to take just these middle pieces off, and I'm going to attach it down. The backing, the tape backing off these middle pieces. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm trying so hard here. I don't know why. I'm focused. I'm so focused. Okay. I think that's on there pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to flip this back, and I am going to attach this to the cover, to the back cover or front cover. There isn't a direction at the moment, so but I'm going to start with making sure that I get it down in that ditch there. The spine, the seam. What is that? That is the gusset. That's a gusset. That's a space. That, why can't I remember what that's called? That is going to drive me bonkers. And I'm going to just put it over top of there. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing for this side. Okay, so try not to, it's not crooked, but it kind of looks like it because of the piece that I put in the inside there for reinforcement. It kind of looks like it's crooked, but it's not, I promise. Because that piece, the reinforcement piece, was crooked. And there we have it. All right, our covers are made, our binding is in, and that'll be all we're gonna do in today's video. Oh, I'm so sorry we had to go about it the long way around, but hey, sometimes that's what happens when you're crafting. All right, you guys, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, all of those things. Check out the description box, the playlist, the introduction video, the walkthrough of everything. There's a flip through of what we're getting. Well, we're not going to make it exactly, but there's a flip through of the album, the prototype album. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.